In this figure, we have three circles inside of a rectangle, and the radius of one circle is 7.1, the radius of the second circle is 5.6, and we need to find the area of the blue circle. To find this area, first we need to find the radius. So let's start by finding a few dimensions of the rectangle. If the radius of this circle is 7.1, then the height of this rectangle is 14.2 because it is twice this radius. Now, in the second circle, let the center be point O. Then, from this center, we will draw a perpendicular to the left side of the rectangle. And if this point of intersection is point B, and this vertex is point A, then the distance AB is also 5.6 because this distance is the same as the radius. Now let the radius of the blue circle equal to x, and from the center we will also draw a perpendicular to the left side of this rectangle. Then if this point is point C and the vertex is point D, then the distance CD equals x units because this is the same as the radius of the blue circle. Now let's talk about the distance BC. If the height of this rectangle is 14.2 units and AB is 5.6 and CD is x, then BC will be 14.2 minus 5.6 and minus x. I will do the calculations below. 14.2 minus 5.6 and minus x. 14.2 minus 5.6 is 8.6 minus x. So then BC equals 8.6 minus x. Now from the center of the blue circle, we will draw a perpendicular up to the radius of the circle above. Let's also connect the centers of these two circles. And now we have a right triangle formed. In this triangle, the upper side is 5.6 minus x, and this is because the radius of this circle is 5.6, and this line segment is x because it is the same as the radius of the blue circle. Then 5.6 minus x will give us the upper side of this triangle. The left side is 8.6 minus x because it is the same as BC, and the hypotenuse is 5.6 plus x because it is the sum of the radius 5.6 and the radius x. Now, in a right triangle, according to the Pythagorean theorem, one side squared plus another side squared equals the hypotenuse squared. Then we will use the Pythagorean theorem to write the following equation. 5.6 minus x all squared plus 8.6 minus x all squared equals 5.6 plus x all squared. Now to remove the parentheses, we will use these two formulas. The first one represents the square of a sum, and that is a plus b all squared equals a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, and the second one represents the square of a difference, and that is a minus b squared equals a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So on the left side, we will use the square of a difference, and on the right side, we will use the square of a sum. So let's start with 5.6 minus x squared. 5.6 squared is 31.36. Then 2 times 5.6 and times negative x is negative 11.2x. So we will write minus 11.2x. Then x to the second power is x squared. Next, 8.6 squared is 73.96. Then 2 times 8.6 and times negative x is negative 17.2x. So minus 17.2x and plus x squared. And now on the right side, 5.6 squared is 31.36 plus 2 times 5.6 times x is 11.2x and plus x squared. Now let's cancel the same terms that we see on both sides. That is 31.36 and x squared. In the next step, we will move all the terms to one side and make the other side equal to 0. First, let's bring down x squared, then minus 11.2x, then minus 17.2x. Then if we subtract 11.2x from both sides, we will have minus 11.2x and plus 73.96 equals 0. On the left side, we will combine the three like terms and we will have x squared minus 39.6x plus 73.96 equals 0. Now, this is a quadratic equation and we will solve it using the quadratic formula. So if we have a quadratic equation of the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, then here is the quadratic formula that will give us the solution x. The formula is x equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. In this formula, a is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is a constant. In our equation, a is equal to 1, b is equal to negative 39.6, and c is 73.96. Then if we replace these numbers in the formula, we will get x equals fraction, then positive 39.6 plus or minus square root, then inside we will have negative 39.6 squared minus 4 times 1 and times 73.96. Then in the denominator we will have 2 times 1. This equation has two solutions, and we will get the first solution by adding the square root, then the second solution by subtracting the square root. So if we use a calculator, then the solutions are x is approximately 37.63 and x is approximately 1.97. We will ignore the first solution because this number is too large for our problem. And now we have that the radius of the blue circle is approximately 1.97. Now to find the area of the blue circle, we will use the formula a equals pi r squared, and r represents the radius. Then a equals pi times 1.97 squared, and this is approximately 12.19 square units. So we found the area of the blue circle, and it is approximately 12.19 square units. I hope you liked this geometry problem. Please subscribe, leave a comment, and thank you for watching.